As Hindus, we believe in so many deities. Which god, in your opinion, should we meditate on? You know, Hinduism is not actually a religion. Even Sanatana Dharam is not a religion. If you look at the other religions, they are, even those that are not monotheist, which means even those that believe in multiple gods and deities, they are mostly based around literature, book, sometimes books. But this is not the basis of Hinduism. The reason there are so many gods is because you just have different portraits of the same person. So we don't have too many gods, we only have one God. My method of worship, I worship Mother Divine in my left with Lalita sahasranama. In my right, I worship Vishnu with Vishnu sahasranama. But I make sure I don't have to look at the book when I'm doing that chant. And you pick any name of Ma from Lalita sahasranama, I can tell you the meaning. Because if you don't understand the meaning, you will not have the Bhava. You will not understand the depth behind it. So please, no matter what it is that you chant, understand the meaning behind it. For example, you know, in Rudravishek, I did it when I was 11 years old. That's the Swasti Vachan, you know, when it starts. Harihi Om Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Jantu Vishwato Dabdhaso Aparita Saudabidaha Devano Jata Veda Samasad Vriday Asan. You are saying this, but if you don't know the meaning, you are just enjoying the sound, nothing more. If I say Bhadram Karne Bihi Srinuyam Deva Bhadram Pashyema Chavirya Jajataraha, what does it mean? Nothing. But if you look into the meaning, it's beautiful. Bhadram Karne Bihi Srinuyam Deva. Let our ears hear the most divine sounds from everywhere. Whatever I hear, let that be divine for me. Bhadram Pashyema Chavirya Jajataraha Sthiraya Rangaya Stushtuva. That whatever I see should be divine. All sight, let divinity rule me. Now, next time you hear this, you'll feel different. So I always place emphasis on understanding the meaning. When you understand the bookish meaning and you meditate on the mantra, one day the esoteric meaning will sprout forth. Then you start to see the real meaning. So which form should you meditate on? That depends which form you love. Na grishmo, na shitam, na desho, na vesho, na yasya asti murtis trimurtim tamide. There is no one form. The whole problem is people are searching for the absolute. Then you don't see the real beauty. So what I do, because I know there are no two gods, it's only one. Ek kahun to hai nahi, do kahun to gali. If gods are two, then we are looking at some real chaos. So when I am very childlike, I say, Ma, today I'm worshipping you. And even then, even at that time, if I'm doing Vishnu sahasranama, I say, Ma, I'm worshipping you, this form. And if I'm worshipping Ma and I say, Ma, I'm worshipping Vishnu or Shiva, then you rejoice in all the names. Because could God be two? I hope not. So feel free to worship any form. And never ever think one form is better than the other. वो बोलते हैं भोरे भूली खसम के बहुत किया विचार, सतगुरु आनी बताया पूर बला बरता. That I left my own husband, a woman says, and I went to all sorts of men. I lost sight of what was right for me. Somebody said this God is good, I started worshipping that God. Somebody said this God is good, I started worshipping this God. Somebody said this Devi is good, I started worshipping that Devi. But when my Sadguru entered in my life, he said, your Purv Janams, your past life's karma is tied to this God, worship this God. So wherever you feel you have the affinity, worship that God. If Goswami Tulsidas worshipped Rama, he saw Rama. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worshipped Krishna, he saw Krishna. If Ramakrishna Paramahansa worshipped Kali, he saw Kali. Are we then to say that one goddess is less than the other, or somehow one god is more superior than the other? That is just merely ego talking, ignorance talking. Nothing else. No more, no less. So what is my definition of God? A force, the essence of everything. One that's eminent in absolutely everything you see, you feel, you do. That is good. Does that mean he can change your karma? I really don't think so. There would have been no Mahabharata. Krishna, Shodashkala Sampurna, full of 16 modes of material nature, manifested his full form in full glory, did miracles, showed, proved multiple times, I am God. Atva bahneten kim gyaten tavarjuna. Vishtabhyaham kritan ekon shainsto jagat. What will you do by knowing more, Arjuna? I'm just telling you, I hold this whole multiverse, many, many universes in a fraction of my entity. Yad vibhuti mat sattam, shrimat urjitam meva, tattev gachtam mam tejo vancha sambhava. It is all possible with my tejas. That Krishna walked in flesh and bones on this earth and could not stop the war. Please feel free to worship any god. There is absolutely no difference. Somebody asked me, I've got a lot of gods in my altar. Can I remove some? Will my God feel bad? Because now he said, I feel connected with this person named Radha Krishna. They've got deities of Radha Krishna. I said, of course, feel free. If God started feeling bad, you removed me, but I'm still there, he's differentiating himself. Then you remove the whole altar and be an atheist, that'll be better. There's a little story I'm reminded. There was this man, he used to worship Anjanaya, Kapuraj, Hanuman. And he thought, after worshipping for more than pretty much 30 years, he thought, this God is no good. Yeah. He's just standing like this and I'm still poor, I'm still doing stuff, and I'm still stressed. My husband or wife still doesn't listen to me. It's still the same issues. I should change. I should get a charismatic God. Somebody who's quick and fast and does the trick. So he decided to get an idol of Krishna. So he put an idol there and he removed Bajrang Bali from there and put it in the attic. Normally, it is true that most people make their smallest room in the home for temple, for worship. So smaller rooms generally have attics, at least in India. So I put it in the attic. It's also a good storage space. And one day he was doing the Dhupa Garbati. Actually, have you thought God must think, these guys are making me smell all these chemicals? Don't you think? It's all chemical. He must be thinking, what are you guys doing? Imagine if you could actually talk to you, say, what on earth are you doing if you manifest in form? But it's devotion. Like everything is fair in love and war, it's also fair in devotion. So when the incense, the little smoke was rising up, he thought, Bajrangbali is still there. And he's also taking part of this. I don't want him to have it. Only Krishna should have 100% of what I have to offer. So he takes the idol down, gets some cotton, and stuffs it up in his nose. As soon as he is doing it, the second cotton, a real form manifests of Bajrangbali. Anjana's real form manifests in front of his very eyes and is shell-shocked. And he said, is this for real? 30 years I gave you of my life, and you never bothered to show up. And now when I'm making sure you don't get any of what I'm offering, you manifest your form. Is this some kind of joke? And he said, well, 30 years you just worshipped me. You thought I was some idol. You thought I was some statue. You thought I have to do my things. But today is the first time you actually believed I was getting it. Today is the first time you thought that I'm actually partaking of what you're offering, so you don't want me to do that. That's why I manifested my form, because your faith today had no doubts in it. There was a man once, he went to a saint and he said, how long will it take me to see God? And he said, what do you do for a living? Well, he said, I'm a farmer. Do you have bullocks? He goes, yes. He goes, I want you to go home. Take a mustard seed, put it on the horn of one of your bulls, and see for how long it stays on the horn. And he said, you will have the vision in that short period. He said, really? He said, go try. So he goes away, goes to his home, puts some mustard seed, off it goes. Another one, off it goes. Another one, off it goes. Her wife thinks he's gone nuts. So after he's done, after an hour or so, he goes to the sage the next day and he says, I did that, but I didn't see him. He goes, so you actually put the mustard seed on the horn? He goes, you bet. And how long did it stay there? He said it was not even a moment. He said, that's exactly my point. When, not even for a moment, will you forget God, He will manifest His form in front of you in less than a moment. And this has also been my first-hand experience. If you are serious about seeing His form, you have to immerse in His Bhava.